26 years of CNBC TV18.
CNBC TV18 completing 26 years.
Can I start, guys? Let's just keep it that way.
Parikshit is here with more on Putin's agenda for New Delhi. Parikshit.
Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
Happy 26th birthday.
भी लगाएगी तू?
देखो है तो देखो.
Happy 26th birthday CNBC TV18 from the crown.
लाइन दिखाते रहना, वो इंडिगो का बोर्ड दिखाना, ठीक है?
Listen, I wanna be there with you no matter where you go. Life is a table for two, and we're starting the show. I'm gonna spread my wings and fly so high up above the clouds.
It's a very, very good morning indeed in the Mumbai News Center. I am Hormuz Patakia. You're watching Power Breakfast. As CNBC TV18 celebrates 26 remarkable years, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to each one of you. Your trust, loyalty, and constant engagement have been the driving force behind this journey of ours. From breaking news to deep market insights, every milestone we have achieved has been made possible because you chose to stay with us, challenge us, and inspire us to raise the bar every single day. Thank you for believing in our mission, for welcoming us into your homes, and for being an integral part of the CNBC TV18 family. Let's start off with the top headlines at the top of this week. Stocks on Wall Street and Friday's trading session higher as traders digested the core PCE data for September. The Dow gains over 100 points while the Nasdaq adds more than 70. The indices end off the highs of the day. Asian markets trade largely higher as investors look to ahead of China's trade data which are due later today. The GIFT Nifty is indicating a subdued start for our own markets. Crude prices are steady at 2-week highs on geopolitical risks that threaten oil supplies from Russia and Venezuela. The gold prices also gain on the optimism over a Fed rate cut this week. The aviation regulator DGCA has issued a show cause notice to Indigo's top executives as massive flight disruptions continue. The regulator has now given them time till 6 p.m. this evening to respond, warning that failure to submit a complete and comprehensive reply on the crisis will result in ex parte action. And Biocon will be making Biocon Biologics a 100% subsidiary. The board has also approved the swap ratios for the transaction and cleared a proposal to raise up to 4,500 crore rupees through a qualified institutional placement or a QIP. And as we celebrate 26 glorious years, it's a very important week that lies ahead for our own markets and, of course, for the global markets as well, as all eyes will be on the US Federal Reserve. But first up, let's take a look at how the Asian markets have started off. And it is a fairly subdued picture across the Asia Pacific as well. No major directional cues. Of course, we are also counting down to the end of the year. So as the days go by, as we close out 2025, volumes would be lower, participation will be lower. The Hang Seng around about 0.33% lower. The Taiwanese index trading with gains of around 0.5%. No major moves seen across the rest of the Asian markets as well. The Nikkei is trading below the flat line, the Kospi just above the flat line, as is the Shanghai Composite. So no major directional trend that is emerging from the Asian markets this morning. To pull up the GIFT Nifty and give you an idea of how our own markets are likely to start off, and a similar trend showing as to what the Asian markets are reflecting as well. An absolutely flat start is what the implied open is currently suggesting. But to set you up for today's trade, our research team is here with the trade setup, the stocks to watch, and of course cues from the FNO side as well. First up, Vivek is here to get us all the market cues that you need to watch out for. Vivek, good morning.
Well, good morning. Quite a few events, and it's going to be an extremely important session as well as an important week, especially as far as equity markets are concerned. US markets overnight or on Friday ended with marginal gains. Oil price is largely steady. Brent now hovering around the $63.7 a barrel mark. In terms of Indian market, well, the story across last week was that while we managed to end flat, both the Sensex and the Nifty, it was a significant underperformance versus the emerging market peers, and something that we would like to see reverse going forward. The other thing to watch out for, of course, will be the rupee. In terms of events to watch out for today, quite a few important events. For the first time ever, you will see a pre-open trading session as far as the FNO space is concerned. So market participants will keenly watch how that particular event transpires. Secondly, two important conference calls that will happen prior to market open, both gains after the kind of beating the stock took in the week gone by, and Biocon after the Biocon Biologics merger. The other stock to watch out for, Fino Payments Bank, they will now become a small finance bank. Wakefield IPO opens, and also keep an eye out for the entire Indian IT space. Some positive news flow coming in. Salesforce went ahead and upgraded its FY26 revenue growth guidance. On the back of that, Indian IT could see some positive takeaway. GIFT Nifty indicating a mild negative start for our markets today.
Vivek, thank you for that update. Over to Ria now with the stocks that should be on your radar. Ria, good morning. What's on your list?
Well, good morning, Homer. Starting off with ITC Hotels, where a big block deal has taken place. A 9% stake has been sold off for an amount of rupees 3,856 crores, and the buyers on this front include HCL Capital as well as Nippon India Mutual Fund. Eternal will also be in focus as a big block deal is expected here as well. The seller is an undisclosed institutional investor, and they're looking to sell up to roughly rupees 1,500 crores worth of equity at a floor price of 289.5 per share. ICICI Bank will also be in focus since ICICI Pru AMC has filed its RHP for its IPO, which is set to open between the 12th and 16th of December. Keep an eye on Biocon as well. The company's arm has received a tentative US FDA nod for capsules that are used in the treatment of Parkinson's disease, and separately the company is also going to fully integrate Biocon Biologics as its wholly owned subsidiary going ahead. Moving on to some stocks that will be in focus on the back of order wins and order flows. Zentech has bagged an order worth roughly rupees 120 crores from the Defence Ministry to set up combat training nodes in Madhya Pradesh. For Nugent Software, a Kuwait entity has withdrawn its tender for a business process management platform tender. And for MTAR Tech, they have bagged an order worth roughly 194 crores in the civil nuclear power sector. Ashoka Buildcon will also be in focus after bagging an order worth roughly rupees 1,573 crores from BMC for highway construction. And HFCL has bagged an international order worth roughly 656 crores from a US client for the supply of optical fiber chains.
Ria, thank you for that update. And lastly, Sudarshan joins in with cues from the FNO space. Sudarshan, good morning. Back near the 26,200 mark on the index, but what's the FNO data indicating this morning?
Good morning, Harmas. Congratulations and happy 26th to each one of us as CNBC celebrates 26th year of a remarkable journey that we have had. Now coming to the market, it was a good Friday and hope it turns out to be a good Monday, though GIFT Nifty is indicating a subdued start. Now, what has led market high on Friday? The RBI's policy that has announced a cut of 25 bips led to a market sharply higher, and now 20-day moving average for Nifty has moved higher and now it's above 26,000. What does FNO data indicate? On the flows front also, we have seen FIs buying both in the index futures as well as index options. Now FIs long exposure has increased to 14% versus earlier level of around 12 to 13%. On the options data front also, on the call side, we have seen major activities in 26,400, 26,350 and 26,250 call options, while on the put side, 26,000, 26,100 were the most active ones. So support for Nifty is now at 26,000, that is 20-day moving average. Resistance 26,300 for Nifty Bank. Support would be around 59,000 and resistance would be around record high of 60,000.
Sudarshan, thank you for those updates there from the F&O space. The other major talking point over the last week has been Indigo, where the DGCA has now issued show cause notices to Indigo's top brass as massive flight disruptions continue. The regulator has now given the airline time till 6 p.m. this evening to respond, warning that a failure to submit a comprehensive and complete reply on the crisis will result in ex parte action. Madhya is joining in with latest on this. Madhya, good morning.
Well, Hormuz, you're right. This is a crisis that India has never seen before. Indigo has never seen before. And Indigo would never have anticipated that it will, see itself in this kind of chaos. It all started, or rather the cracks started showing up on the 2nd of December when flights started cancelling in large numbers. And so far, Indigo has cancelled at least 6,000 flights, impacting nearly 9 lakh passengers across different airports. And we've been seeing visuals on social media of how passengers are very, very severely impacted due to these cancellations. Operations are now stabilizing. CEO Peter Albers said yesterday that they operated 1650 flights. Their daily operations are about 2,300. So he said they operated 1650 flights on Sunday, which is yesterday. That still meant that there were over 500 cancellations. So operations are slowly stabilizing. Of course, it will take time for them to normalize operations. What also came out from the Aviation Ministry yesterday was refunds worth over 600 crores have been processed, and the airline has been able to return about 3,000 bags to passengers because all these cancellations led to lost bags. People's baggage was stuck across airports. So 3,000 bags have been returned to passengers, and refunds worth 600 crores have been processed so far, is what the Aviation Ministry gave out in the statement. Regulatory pressure, as you mentioned, has been increasing. Indigo was given 24 hours. Indigo CEO and the COO were given 24 hours by the DGCA to respond to a show cause notice. They wanted more time. They asked for another day. So today is that deadline, 6 p.m. Today is by when Indigo CEO has to appear before the DGCA and explain why they failed in ensuring reliable operations. And if they fail to do that, it will lead to an ex parte action by the DGCA.
Madhya, thank you for that update there. All eyes will remain on Indigo. We'll take a short break. All the action from Wall Street on the other side. Stay tuned.
My heartiest congratulations to CNBC TV18 for completing 26 years, and to you, Shireen Ban, for your 25th year completion. What an incredible journey that you all have had. This journey has resulted in you establishing yourself as the most credible channel for business news in the country.
"26 years of CNBC TV18. "26 years of CNBC TV18.
Welcome back. On to action from the US markets. It was a fairly subdued session there as well. The indices ended in the green, managed to eke out weekly gains. But on Friday's session, the indices mainly ended off the highs of the day. The Dow was up 100 points, but that came off around 200 points from the day's high, as did the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. The inflation data was in line with estimates. The Fed rate cut hopes are still intact. 87% is what the probability currently indicates. So all eyes will be on the Fed. The decision comes out late Wednesday night or, of course, Thursday morning Indian time. Now, the other major talking point on Friday was the major deal that Netflix announced with Warner Brothers, a $72 billion deal, and US President Donald Trump has weighed in on that proposed merger. Now, speaking to reporters on Sunday, he said that he expects to have a say in whether or not that deal should move forward. Listen in.
I met with Ted. I think he's fantastic. I think he's, in the history of Hollywood, has really been almost, you could say, nothing like what he's done. He'd go back to Louis B. Mayer, maybe, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, MGM. Ted has done an incredible job. I mean, he had a company that was very troubled 7 or 8 years ago, and he took it over, and he's really done a legendary job.
Should they be allowed to buy Warner Brothers? Should Netflix?
Well, that's the question. They have a very big market share. And when they have Warner Brothers, you know, that share goes up a lot. So I don't know. That's going to be for some economists to tell. And also, and I'll be involved in that decision, too.
Did they make?
They have a very big market share.
Did he make any guarantees to you about the merger if they do merge? Then
No, not at all. He came up. He was in the Oval Office last week. I have a lot of respect for him. He's a great person, but he's done one of the greatest jobs in the history of movies and other things. And he's got a lot of interesting things happening aside from what you're talking about. But it is a big market share. There's no question about it. It could be a problem.
Donald Trump on the Netflix Warner Brothers proposed merger. Take a short break. Cues from the commodities market on the other side. Stay tuned.
"26 years of CNBC TV18. "26 years of CNBC TV18.
Welcome back. Now, a US trade delegation will visit India from the 10th to the 12th of this month to push forward talks on the first tranche of a bilateral trade agreement. Sources say that the team will be led by Deputy US Trade Representative Rick Switzer, with India being represented by Joint Secretary Darpan Jain. While this isn't an official negotiation round, both sides are aiming for strong progress on the tariff issues. And Manisha Gupta now joins in with all the updates from the commodity space. Manisha, good morning. What's on your radar today?
Well, thank you for that, Hormuz, and a happy 26th to you as well for CNBC TV18. What I am looking at is the crude oil prices to begin with, because we're trading at a 2-week highs right now, back above 60 for WTI and 63 for Brent as well. We do know that the US-Russia talks on Ukraine peace deal have failed to produce a breakthrough. There also is a possibility of a US military intervention in Venezuela, and the markets are absolutely, expecting a US interest rate cut this week from the US Fed, and that clearly seems to be supportive, not just of crude, but the gold prices also, which are trading at October highs, silver, which is trading near all-time highs, and the U.S. copper prices, which are trading at a 4-month highs as well. Well, the large withdrawal of metal from LME warehouses and the fact that perhaps U.S. could put in taxes for refined copper are some of the other factors which are keeping copper prices on the higher side.
Manisha, thank you for that update, and a very happy birthday to you as well. Take your leave on this edition of Power Breakfast from me and the team. Thank you so much for watching, but don't go anywhere. On this very special occasion, we have a very power-packed lineup all through the day. Bazaar Morning Call on the other side to set you up for the day's trade.
26 years of CNBC TV18.